Okay, now we're recording.
I know, I saw you hit the button.
All right, welcome to episode 4 of season 2, because we're breaking these into seasons of the PSA podcast, the #1 podcast on the internet, combining philosophy, science, and the consumption of alcoholic beverages.
There's another one.
There's not.
It has at least
maybe
one viewer.
Maybe there's 10 other ones, but we're still #1.
Okay.
We're #1 in my heart.
Oh, that's what matters.
I'm half of this. But yeah, as I said, I'm half of the regular host team. My name is Brent Blakeney, and sitting across from me, as always, is the other half of the host team.
Hi, that's me. Hi, I'm Brett Williams. I'm gonna be talking to you too.
And well, it's technically a week before Halloween, but we thought it would be fun.
It's gonna be released on Halloween.
Yes, it's gonna be released on Halloween. So if you're listening to this, it is
now
Halloween.
Woo!
No, spooky.
I am scared.
It's so spooky in here. There's spooks.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, nope, can't say that.
What?
That's it. Never mind.
I don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah, so we thought in this.
It just happened. I think Brent just got possessed, like before we even started talking about it.
Possessed by the spirit of my grandmother.
Uh-oh. I don't. That's gotta be
She's
awkward.
Not dead.
Yeah, like that's strange.
Oh, wouldn't that be weird? It's
If
like
you could possess someone who wasn't dead.
no, if like one of us got a text during while we're recording this, like, hey, your grandmother's dead.
Wow, that would not be weird, Brent. That would be fucking terrible. Who are you?
Oh, I'd be kind of pumped. I can't say. Oh yeah, like anybody who's that comment's gonna bother is gonna listen to this. She hasn't even listened to my album. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh hey, yeah, you guys. If Brent has an album, if you want.
Have I plugged that yet?
No.
I don't think I have.
I'm surprised you haven't.
No.
Frankly.
Okay, yeah. You're a promotion.
I mean, look how large your head is. Like, I totally would have expected.
I know, right? I hurt my shoulder patting myself on the back.
Is that how you did it?
Yeah, I did.
I thought it was because you tried to lift too much weight.
No. I'm super strong. I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But
a simple pat on the back will put you out for 2 weeks or so. All right, so we're going to talk about paranormal thing. Well, we're going to talk specifically about humanoid paranormal monster ghost things.
Real quick, what would a non-humanoid paranormal be?
So that would be in the realm of cryptozoology.
Oh, okay.
Cryptozoology being the study of animals that we're not really sure are real. And how you study them when they're not real? I don't know. I don't know how you do that, people who study cryptozoology. How do you study animals that aren't real?
He said that so eloquently. Study of animals that we don't know if they're real.
So that will be
the official.
So cryptozoology would be like the Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, the chupacabra, Yeti, which is also another name for Bigfoot, Sasquatch, which is yet another name for Bigfoot, and all those fun things. So any sort of monster, the Kraken,
the Kraken.
The Kraken would be cryptozoology.
Those are kind of real.
Well,
I mean, they're like not in the
squid are real.
Not in the sense of
that is something.
Pirates.
No, okay, and that's where I have to applaud people because
tenacity.
Yeah, because a lot of people did not think that giant squid were real. Until they actually found giant squid. So we actually know giant squid are a real thing.
That's like that one. That was the one dumb TLC show that's like hunt for X not real thing, but it was like hunt for the giant squid, and they're like, oh shit, they found it.
Yeah. So the giant squid is a real thing, but there is the jury's still out on the Kraken. That's all I'm saying. But then again, if any of those are going to be real, I have to say this though: if any of those paranormal, cryptozoological animals are real, I would say that anything in the ocean, I would give it to. I would say, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the ocean is very big. There's very little we know about it, and there are large animals there. So if there's going to be one mythical animal, I would say the Kraken is a pretty good bet.
If you had to bet on one.
If I had to bet on one,
it'd be the Kraken.
Yeah, it'd be the Kraken.
I respect that.
I can't think of any other animal that in mythological realms that would actually exist other than the Kraken.
tried to find out. You can't get a degree in cryptozoology.
Right,
Wait,
because it's not real animals, Brent.
Oh. Well, you can, but it's an online university.
Is it a bachelor's or what is it? It's
the
just like...
IMHS Metaphysics Institute Premier Online University. You can get a degree in cryptozoology and
you can
hominology.
join Scientology while you're at it. All right.
So, man, I watched the documentary.
I don't.
Whoo.
We'll talk about Scientology another time.
We're
going to talk about religion.
Nature of metaphysics. Oh no, you can just MHS M24 course is cryptozoology. So, but like all these, like, so they don't have degrees, but all these other colleges are like, do you want to be a cryptozoologist? Come to our college and study this stuff first.
Yeah,
it's like maybe study biology,
real stuff. Yeah. All right, so
Anyway.
we're gonna talk about the humanoid side of it.
Yes.
So this is ghosts, vampires, zombies.
And demonic possession.
Demons.
Ooh. So spooky.
Okay, so we're going to start this off with...
Let me ask you a question. Starting off, do you believe in ghosts?
Abso-fucking-lutely not.
Yeah, me either.
That is so... I'm sorry. Look, for all of you out there thinking that you're being haunted, you're probably just paranoid. You know, you notice that paranormal and paranoid sound very similar.
That's probably true.
So maybe you should take a step back. Take a few of your meds.
It's interesting though that both of us being present day individuals.
Present day individuals.
Of moderate intelligence at least. Mm-hmm. Like just unabashedly do not believe in things like ghosts. But yet throughout human history, like, there's always been people that do believe in ghosts.
Right.
I don't know, that's kind of crazy. Like, why? Like, if it's something that old, like, why is it not stayed around?
Okay, well, here's the thing. It has stayed around.
It has.
It has. And I don't want to bring up religion, Brent, but I'm going to. It's...
Wait, how long? Wait, hang on. Okay, I need to make it 7:23. We've been talking for 7 minutes and 23 seconds before Brett's first rant on religion starts.
I'm not ranting. I'm just saying that religion has a big chunk to do with it. And people still believe in God, too. So, with very little evidence to the contrary. So, I would just say that it is not totally unheard of for people to believe in things that they have not proven ever. So as far as paranormal activity goes, in ghosts, people believe in ghosts. People also have an inherent fear of death.
True.
So the idea that you could possibly live on in whatever way you could is very appealing to a lot of people.
Why would you want that? Like, that's what I understand about it, is like, I grasp the concept of like an afterlife or something like that, like you die and you go to heaven. Like what would grasp somebody like so strong that to be like, you know what I want to do? Well, I want to like I want to hang out.
Well, there's the thing too of the idea that it is a punishment.
Okay.
It's another way to scare people. So ghosts are scary. Ghosts are a scary thing to a lot of people. So the idea that you can scare someone into being a good person so they go to heaven and they don't end up in purgatory where they're just wandering around aimlessly for the rest of eternity, that's something that is a good tactic to scare people with and say there's something haunting you, because this person didn't do such and such in their life and so now they're forced to do this forever. Or the idea that someone else needs to be punished, like if you build a casino on top of a Indian burial ground. There are things that people will say in order to make you feel bad for doing that, make you feel like a bad person. Say, you do this, I'm going to come back and haunt you.
Right.
That's scary. That's a scary thought to a lot of people. And it's either a comforting thought or it's a scary thought. It's a comforting thought in the thought that, my soul can live on in some way or another. Or it's a scary thought in I am being punished or I will be punished in this way if such and such.
Well, it's also based on culture too. Because like we as Americans have all our shits, all our ideas of the afterlife and paranormal for most very unintelligent people is morphed by Hollywood. And so
people love the idea of ghosts. It's not
Right.
because if we're going back to like how it started, and
well, no, I just want to say like we have this idea like when we say ghosts, we automatically think like spooky movie or something like that. But like you look at like Mexican culture and you have El Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah,
that's a little hard to say tipsy.
Dia de los Muertos.
But they are very, very open.
They love it, yeah.
The idea of the ancestors coming back as ghosts.
Well, there's also in a lot of other cultures too, in a lot of Asian cultures, the idea that your loved ones are still here. They're still around to
ancestor
help you.
worship in a way.
Yeah, or to look over you, to guard
Right.
you. An angel. You know, there's a fine line between an angel and a ghost.
That's true.
Very fine line. And so people love this idea. People are in love with ghosts because it is not only is it scary and thrilling for like a lot of people, and they'll exploit that in horror movies, etc. It is also comforting to to a culture of people too.
Right. Yeah.
So, but the idea of ghosts is very intoxicating almost to people in general. So I think that's part of it.
And they've been around forever. And it's weird and like it's
your memory living on in that way is also very appealing to a lot of people want to be ghosts so that they can live on in the memory of whoever sees them next.
Yeah, and it's strange that like in the different ways like they've cropped up, I think. I mean you have like you want to talk about like things we take from ancient cultures, like you look at like Greek plays, or I mean even if you want to go as far as like forward as like Shakespeare or something like that, like not only have people always believed in ghosts, but they've always like kind of come up in pop culture in a sense as well.
Well, here's the thing like that I think is interesting. We're here talking about ghosts, which as this is a Wikipedia version of this. It apparently is the definition is an apparition of a dead person that is believed to appear or become manifest to the living, typically as a nebulous image.
Right.
Now, there is an idea though that people like in our culture, as far as the movie monster goes,
Mm-hmm.
you will notice that pretty much every one of them is the undead.
Yes.
In some way, it's a ghost. It's a zombie, which is dead come back to life. It is a vampire, which is essentially a dead person, but not quite dead. They're forever. They're immortal.
Yes.
They're immortal in a way that almost they are perceived to be dead.
Well, there's also in ways, and I think
Mummies are the undead as well. Mummies are also.
Mummies.
Yeah, The Mummy is a good movie.
But I mean like mummies in the sense of a horror trope is one thing, but like mummies are a real thing.
No. Oh, yeah. I mean, like mummies come back to life.
Yeah.
Like the mummy.
Walking around.
Right. That's the undead. As well.
But what's interesting is I found
mummies are real.
There's actually a distinction between what they call experiential and non-experiential ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Non-experiential ghosts, made of non-physical ectoplasm, and these are the ones that like they engage in repetitive actions.
Mm-hmm. The ones that just walk around.
Yeah, shaking like, oh, the books fell off the shelf.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, there's experiential ghosts can have experiences like more apt to be like the interactive type.
They have a consciousness.
Yes.
All right. So whereas the non-experiential one is merely a shadow of what they were when they were alive. The experiential one is actually a conscious being.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's weird at best.
Yeah. I think the shadow of the once alive person is the one that
most people assume
it's the one that you catch on camera. It's the one that it can't really. Sometimes you hear like a whisper, maybe, but
Yeah.
it's not really. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, like a door closes.
You every day they'll you move something and it moves back, like every day, and that's just how it is forever. And then the experiential ones are the ones that will respond to your questions or will try to make themselves known in some way for whatever reason.
Let me ask you this: being someone, you more than myself, but being two people who kind of have theater experience in their background, like there's a big superstition through actors, theater folk. Yeah, makes them sound like carnies. Theater folk,
kind of.
Yeah, but like theaters are haunted.
Yeah,
like, that's not even like oh, sometimes you find like no, theaters are just haunted.
Well, there's a whole opera. Phantom of the Opera is about a theater being haunted by. It ends up being a real person, but most people believe it just to be some sort of phantom that just lives there forever.
Right.
And it's a very popular idea. She's barking at ghosts. And in college at Thompson Theater in NC State, we had Frank Thompson was our ghost. He's the one.
Frank.
Yeah, Frank Thompson.
Frank
was our ghost.
Oh, Frank the ghost.
I tell you what, this is a real thing. People honestly believed in him. And it was the man who built, it was named after Frank Thompson. He built it as a gym, right?
Right.
And so the idea was that Frank's gym was converted into an art center. And he was pissed off about it because he loved sports.
Right.
and so he came back to haunt he didn't have like a real house and a home with children. That he couldn't just haunt them.
Those damn
he had to come back.
Artsy queers.
They
took over my sports gym.
Now he has to come back and haunt them.
I'm gonna haunt the shit out of them.
And it's more of a fun thing though. It's not that anybody actually believed him. It's just more fun to like.
I will say this though. The comedy club we work at, good nights.
Of course,
the building's over 100 years old, and people definitely believe there's a ghost on the 3rd floor.
I think it's more just fun for people to believe it. It's not. It's not. Ghosts are like I said. Ghosts are really thrilling to people. People like to be scared, especially on Halloween. Mm-hmm. People love to like tell stories about how such and such happened when they were sitting in the dark. For some stupid fucking reason.
So anyway, I was in this abandoned building in the dark. Like, why were you there in the first? I was there.
And your mind definitely can't play tricks on you then. You're clearly sober and well in control of your faculties in the middle.
I had a couple mushrooms, and then I definitely saw a ghost. Oh, it's not. It wasn't that. No, it wasn't the mushrooms.
It can't have been the mushrooms.
It could not have been.
This is like my 3rd time doing mushrooms. I clearly know how to handle myself.
I know the difference between like a mushroom thing and like a real thing, and this ghost was like a real thing.
Oh my god, it's so true. It hurts. It hurts. It's so true. Yeah. So people like to be scared, and when you add in the storytelling aspect of it, and that's when it gets real interesting.
Yes.
So
because you can always attach some sort of weird
and you end up with ghost hunters television shows because people are like, oh, now I believe in there's a ghost upstairs making noise telling us to shut up.
Don't talk bad about me.
Don't talk bad about me. I'm just up here being a ghost. Leave me alone. And we're any tiny little bitty thing could be a ghost, and that's where you're like, oh, it's evidence, it's true, it's real because this happened.
Can I tell you one of my favorite ghost hunter stories?
Absolutely.
And it comes from my dad. So one of the episodes of Ghost Hunters, or one of those shows, they were in Florida, and it was like 1 a.m, and they're standing out on this pier dock.
Sure, it's just a pale old person.
No. Listen. So they're standing.
Someone's grandmother.
It was just a lost old person. Where do I go? It's a ghost. No, it's a woman who escaped from the nursing home. Jesus Christ, like just sit at home. So they're standing out there and they're like, this place is known for paranormal activity. It's like there's lights that show up. Like people love blinking lights. Like, oh, that's a ghost. It's like it's a fucking light.
It is.
So they're like,
possibly be a radio tower.
No. I swear to God. So they're out on this thing and they see this light that just keeps flashing like every 10 seconds or something like that. They're like, oh my God.
Like a lighthouse?
My dad goes to that exact same spot, looks out. It's a fucking lighthouse.
Oh my God.
It was the best thing.
Jesus.
And they were like shitting their pants on this dock. And he's out there like,
it's a
goddamn lighthouse. It's like, what?
Of course it's light going around.
Did they not come back in the day?
Yeah, they only go there at night.
Only go there at night.
God damn it. You know what? It's kind of true. I think they only go there at night. Shit, that's funny. See, anything is going to be taken that way. And I know some of it's staged. We all know some of it's staged. Fishing line, moving a chair. We all know it's happening. A door closes because of internal pressure being different from the external pressure of the building. Like, yes, that's how physics works. It happens at my work all the time.
Ghosts are science.
Ghosts are just science. And basically the reason I don't believe in ghosts, I do believe in the idea that matter and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. That's true. It's a law of physics, etc. And the idea almost of your energy when you die having to go somewhere, whatever energy you possess, is part of the basis of the science, quote unquote, of ghosts.
Right.
Is that you have an energy source, and this energy source has to be released in some manner, and it's going to culminate in some spectral form, is a load of crap. It's going to be released in heat as you decompose. That's how science works. Your energy, you're just going to become a hot...
as you decompose.
You're going to be a hot molten mass of decaying matter. That is, I'm sorry, that is what death is. Your consciousness is a bunch of electric pulses in your brain, and that's a very hard concept for people to wrap their head around. And so they make that consciousness a soul. Trust me.
No, it's not that. It's the idea of, for me, and in my belief structure, it's the idea of the individualism of it. It's like if everything is just, if everything... Let's get into this discussion. Okay. No, I'm just saying, like, if everything is just electrons pulsing and electric pulses and all that shit in your brain, like, well, then what makes me any different from you? Like, why do I have a difference in personality?
Well, your experiences are totally different. You walk, your brain is completely different wired than mine. Like, what's the difference between my computer and the toaster? They're both fueled by electricity, but the computer has a totally different mechanical setup.
Well, my toaster does know when my Pop-Tarts are done, so I'm not...
What a smart little toaster.
It's such a smart little toaster. It's a brave little toaster. You get to the junkyard, and that magnet's the scariest fucking thing in your childhood.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. We're going to talk about magnets now on Two Ghosts.
How do magnets work?
Yeah.
So let's segue.
Yeah. So into other.
Let's go from ghosts into demons.
Wait, did we want to? So it's a possession. All right.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I feel like ghosts kind of naturally. Yeah, ghosts. It's called a segue. It's when you kind of take one topic and naturally blend it.
I've heard of it. Okay. All right. So.
I know you haven't.
You can tell by my jokes. So fuck you. Yeah. So demonic possession. The idea that more than one consciousness can inhabit a body at one time. Now, a lot of the ideas of possession come from people. Now, this is actually rooted in psychology, in mental disorders.
Yes.
So, in the olden times, when people exhibited signs of mental illness, it was perceived as a demon or you're a witch or what have you, you are not in your right mind because you suddenly, snapped or whatever happened. It's, but it would take a religious turn, and so you had to be exorcised.
Right.
Of whatever evil was possessing.
Exorcise the demons.
Right. See, they gotta work out those demons.
You say.
You run those demons out.
Gotta get swole to the demons. They're like, yo, I can't keep up with this protein regimen. Well, it's interesting you say that because, as far as what I've experienced in my
exorcism.
Well, I've had a couple. No. As far as in what I've experienced in my
exorcism, that's different.
I thought it was the same.
I've been working so hard.
No. I'm saying.
Get all these demons out.
Not only what I've read.
The demons are cards.
Demons are cards.
Exercise them all out.
I call my fat cells demons, and I gotta exercise them. But the idea of not only demonic possession,
right,
but exorcism really only. I don't want to make generalities or say 100% of the time, but majorly only exists in the Catholic belief system.
I don't know much about. I'd beg to differ. I think that there's a lot of witch doctors, a lot of shamans and things like that also.
No, I'm sorry. You're right. I apologize. I'm not saying as far as our Western when you say exorcise demons, everyone immediately thinks The Exorcist and those Catholic priests and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk from a Western Christian standpoint,
sure. I don't think there are a lot of exorcisms in Judaism.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know a lot about
there was. Demonic possession is the thing that comes up a lot, in the Bible, and like you said earlier, there's an argument that was, it is. There are passages in the Bible that says Jesus cast demons out of people, but like you said, there's also the same argument that what they call demons, we would call paranoid schizophrenia.
Or just it's just a metaphor for their sins, their sinful thoughts, if anything like that.
Well, I see it as
their demons being their gluttony or their pride or their.
Well, it's the idea of Jesus healing the paraplegic, or the.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's he heals the physical illness, but but the demons, it's why is that not just schizophrenia or something like that? You know what I mean?
It could be him going to see bad people, the people that they deem unsafe, and converting them in some way to his belief system, and that's enough to say that he
exorcising the demons.
Exorcise the demons out. And anytime you're born again Christian or whatever, some people might even say that you
got the demons out of you.
All the bad thoughts that you were having,
Or if you're a Scientologist and you get the thetans out of you.
Sure, whatever you want to call them. But their demons are an interesting. I'd say even more religious than ghosts.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the devil, living in you or whatever.
Devil in you, child.
Yeah.
He's got some of that.
Slap it out. Just slap him out of you. Yep. That's what we do in my family.
Yes.
Slap him out.
Slap the devil out of you.
Slap the devil out of you.
You got the devil.
Oh God. Yeah. So there's that idea. Lots of people have multiple consciousness in their head at one time, but they consider that a mental disorder now. So I would say we can. I think demons are one for religion in the future.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And we can go on though to zombies. Zombies are big.
Zombies are real big.
They're real big right now. Everyone loves zombies. I'm not really sure why. I watched the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, and then I stopped.
Oh wow, you got through 3 seasons.
Because I got kind of bored.
I made it through 2.
I liked Michonne because she had a saber.
Yeah, samurai sword.
Samurai sword. That's pretty cool.
Like I've kind of like I've kept up with it in passing. Like I'm not sitting there every week. It's not Game of Thrones or some shit.
Nah.
Or Westworld. You should watch Westworld.
I have not watched it.
You should watch Westworld. Anyway, yeah, I mean zombies are huge right now, and
I wonder why.
Well, but you know what's interesting?
Vampires were big for a bit.
Yeah,
Vampires
with Twilight.
With Twilight and with Vampire Diaries and all that, where vampires were, or Interview with the Vampire, great movie.
Yeah.
Where
Lost Boys, great movie.
Where vampires are almost seen as romantic
Yes.
and very sensual and erotic.
Yes.
In this way, well, obviously zombies are not that. Zombies are very. You know, you can't. It's hard to.
Wait, what was that?
Yeah, there was that one.
Oh, what was it? It was actually kind of entertaining.
Funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Warm Bodies, I think it was called.
It was like the zombie love story.
Like the guy was a zombie, but everyone was like, well, he totally looks like a dude, and this chick falls for him.
Yeah, it's like, that's weird. But zombies are basically like ghosts, except that they're real. They're physical. And
well, I think you flip the idea of consciousness.
It's almost the opposite of a ghost.
Yeah, it's the opposite of
essentially where it's a dead body without a consciousness.
Right.
Whereas a ghost is a consciousness without a body. A zombie is a body without a consciousness. And it's very scary to a lot of people, not because of the idea that I don't really know. It's like
I know exactly the reason why, and I cannot think the Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley?
Yes, Uncanny Valley is a hypothesis that human replicas that appear almost but not exactly like real human beings elicit feelings of eeriness and revulsion. Yeah.
Those are like creepy porcelain baby dolls.
Exactly. That's it. It's things that like...
Those actually do give me a visceral reaction.
Yes. It's like, it's...
Yeah. I see what you mean. It's why people love freak shows.
Yeah.
It's a human form that's not quite right.
You recognize it as a person shape,
but it's a
like
monster.
It's off. Yeah.
So a zombie is a real monster to a lot of people.
Yes, and that's actually in the if you Wikipedia, because apparently that's just our source for this podcast. Uncanny Valley.
Zombies is true.
Like zombie is the lowest of like if you look at it as a valley, zombie is the like
at the base.
At the very bottom.
It's
because it's a person.
Because it's a dead person.
Exactly.
So
it's a dead person moving in a way that a living person would.
Yeah. So an actual dead body is very frightening to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It maybe not frightening in like you jumping out of your seat when you look at it kind of way.
I can't.
But it's scary.
I can't be around them.
Yeah, I've seen a few in my time. And
I mean, I'm talking just like family funerals.
Sure, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like I've been to a number of funerals, and there is something very unnerving about seeing a dead person. Yeah. And even when they try to make them up to look nice, quote, there is something very.
They look so natural. No, they don't. They're
look
very.
Like they're sleeping. But then you see them, and this person doesn't look anything like you remember them looking, and that's very eerie. Yeah. And unnerving and not. I don't know. It shocks me out of the sadness that I was feeling a lot of the time.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just like, I don't know how to feel right now.
Bless you.
Just sneezing the demons out. It's all good.
Actually, fun fact. The Uncanny Valley is the reason why most people are scared of clowns. Or at least a lot of people are scared of clowns.
Clowns are disturbing. And that's a big thing going on right now, is clowns.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much.
It's so stupid.
It's so dumb.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
I just want to point out that you've got like your Wikipedia articles up, you've got like 3 open. Brett's just got Google and it just says ghost.
Yep.
It's just a definition underneath.
This is how I do research. And everyone who's listened to this podcast knows that I don't do fucking research ever, because I got everything I need to know right up here in my noggin. I basically wrote Wikipedia. Thank you to Suze Blakeney
Yes, thank you for the
dropping
small guest spot.
like a small ghost guest spot on this paranormal podcast.
But so zombies come from a lot of, it's mostly rural folklore, especially like Haitian rural. Number one, I can't say rural folklore. And like you said, like well, you said back with the demons, like shaman or witch doctors and people who believe they could bring people back from the dead. Yeah. The idea of like, but when we say zombie, like as far as our rise from the grave kind of thing, like that's, I mean, that's a lot built on just George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead movies from like the 60s.
Yeah. Yeah, there's I think that there were some cases where like witch doctors would basically roofie someone. Mm-hmm. And the idea that you, by all accounts, should be dead. You're cold to the touch. You're not really thinking. You don't have any control of your faculties. You're blue in the face, you know, all of these signs that you are basically dead.
Right.
But you're moving around and you're probably in a daze because you don't know where you are. You're walking slowly. You're shuffling. You're trying to regain any sort of faculty you have, but you can't because you're drugged up. That's a very scary thought to a lot of people too. It's this idea that you're these animals. It's basically people coming to terms with the human animal, the purely unthinking, totally instinctual
lizard brain,
making you walk and eat whatever you can.
Well, I mean, that's what they say. Like zombies are just down to the essentials. Like, what do you like? You want to eat.
Right, and
eat to survive.
And the idea that you could have a disease, even that's the idea of pandemics are terrifying to people. Zika is like making people, you know, flip their shit, and it's not even that. That's not even that bad. I'm sorry, like Zika is gross because you basically get a really bad flu.
Right.
And unless you're pregnant, though, nothing bad's gonna happen. You're just gonna get the flu. You're gonna be shut up for a couple weeks. It's gonna be unpleasant, but nothing.
It's the flu.
It's a very intense flu, is what I've heard. Like, and some people don't even show symptoms. So either you show symptoms where you're holed up for 2 weeks and you feel like you have the flu and you feel really shitty, or you don't feel anything at all. And unless you're pregnant, nothing bad is gonna come out of it, right?
Right.
So people are flipping out. They're like, oh my gosh, there's this invisible pandemic that's going to get us all.
I mean, it was like
mosquitoes.
It was like Ebola 2 years ago.
Yeah, there's so many things that you could get. Like, let's be honest, you could get a disease pretty easily.
Yeah.
Especially with the advent of air travel. I mean, anything can be passed anywhere, and that idea is terrifying to people too. Is that this is a disease? It's not just that people are, you know, coming back to life and have lizard brains. This is that people that they're gonna pass it to you.
Yeah.
You're gonna become a mindless lizard brain person, and that's terrifying to people too.
Yeah.
And or the idea of going one step further, which is what Walking Dead's all about, is what's going to happen to the rest of society. What are you going to be when the zombie apocalypse happens?
The zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, what's gonna happen.
Do you think that could happen?
I think an anarchical apocalypse is very possible.
It could be in like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
After the election.
Trump gets elected. I do believe that sort of breaking point is very possible. I don't think it's going to be a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, no, because like I wonder, like
But
you
I
watch
do-
things like The Walking Dead, and you're like, did they just not know what a zombie was?
Right. This is some.
It's like if a
This
guy.
world, no one has ever heard of a zombie.
If they come back, like if a dude like came back like and like tries to eat you, like you shoot that guy, problem over. Like now no one's shit's not getting spread.
Yeah. And if a zombie apocalypse would happen, I would totally be patient zero. I don't care. I'm setting this trend. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not gonna become a zombie. I'm gonna be the first zombie. So you all can suck it.
I'm just going to Canada.
Yeah.
I'm going as far north as I can.
Why?
Well, I mean, because they operate on the basis of human physiology, and if like they're not, they just freeze. Like you get far enough north, it's cold enough. I'm gonna put on a coat. They're gonna freeze.
Okay.
You think zombies can't put on
Whatever
coats?
makes you feel better.
Yeah. What I liked is 4.5 years ago. Do you remember when that guy took bath salts in Florida and then ate that guy's face?
Eat a homeless guy's face?
Yeah, he had to, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, bath salts turned you into a zombie." I'm like, "This is fucking awesome."
Oh god.
Oh,
So
it was in
dumb.
Miami too,
I
like of
know.
all places.
That poor homeless guy.
You feel like, you kind of wonder like, how did a guy in Miami get bath salts? You feel like that shit would happen like Arkansas or something.
You get bath salts.
Well, I know, but I mean, you feel like somebody eating someone else's face is like a Mississippi news story, like not a Miami.
I don't know. Florida's pretty well known for their stories. Florida, like, what is it? Florida Man?
Yeah.
Is like a meme now.
It's like a subreddit.
Because Florida is the weirdest fucking place on the planet. But the whole zombie thing too. Going back to what are you gonna do when the zombie? And it's not even so much about the zombies being the monsters anymore. It's
Yeah.
people becoming monsters, and that's scarier to a lot of people. Is that look? I'm not even a zombie, and I'm eating someone because I have to.
Because you have to.
And that's you're
That's
coming
just
to,
Jamestown.
coming to terms with your own humanity, and you're basically like the zombie has been this monster, and it's not human. You can kill it without remorse as long as you don't think about the fact that it's your you had to look your daughter in the eye and shoot her because she's dead. It's not her anymore.
Right.
It's pulling the plug essentially, and that's terrifying to a lot of people. But
Oh, that's a
yeah,
really weird, awesome analogy.
that's scary. Like that. Like you're not only is she trying to kill you, but this is a person you have to look in the eye and shoot. That's
No,
scary.
the pulling the plug thing.
It's pulling the plug for someone in a coma.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's scary too. But then turning it back on you when you are faced with this world where you're basically you have to get over the fact that you're killing your loved ones and people that you didn't even know, like you're just killing now. Like you gotten over that. You've gotten over that first hump of pulling the plug, and you just
What's the next step?
You just keep doing it, and now you're starting to lose remorse for everyone because everyone is gonna get infected, or they are infected already, and you're just like, so what?
Yeah.
And then you get to the point where you are starving and you have to eat someone, fully conscious of the fact that you're eating someone because you have nothing else to eat.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying. So you suddenly become a zombie despite the fact that you're not a zombie. And okay.
All right. And
That was a pee break for all you.
a weird, awkward transition.
That weird transition was a pee break.
But going from zombies into the last humanoid sort of paranormal, vampires.
Vampires.
Yeah, they are
So-
sexy.
Yeah, vampires are sexy. Stuck in blood.
They're very a lot of Eastern
Well, they were monsters
European.
before.
Yeah.
Then they became sexy.
Then they became sexy. Oh, Twilight.
Yeah.
So many things.
Actually, Interview with the Vampire was kind of
Yeah,
I like
that
that
seemed
too.
kind of
It's-
sexy.
I mean, Anne Rice, she made the vampire sexy before.
Super sexy.
Before Twilight. Yeah. So vampires are this mythical human that was once a human. It's a person that was once a human that was bitten and then resurrected by a vampire. And vampires are immortal, so they can't die
Right.
unless there are a few ways to kill a vampire. Sunlight,
Yes.
garlic
Garlic keeps them away.
keeps
I don't
them
think-
away, doesn't
yeah.
kill them.
Wooden stake.
Wooden stake to the heart. Silver hurts them. I don't know. I guess a silver bullet would kill them.
I think that's werewolves.
That's werewolves, but I think it might also.
Oh,
be...
really?
Silver does hurt them. I remember that being one of the things. But basically, the sun and the wooden stake to the heart is pretty much how you kill a vampire. And some of these myths are really interesting. Those rules.
Yeah.
I love the one thing I love about vampires is that they have the most rules of any of the other paranormal.
Yeah,
They have
that's
the
true.
most rules and the most followed rules. A lot of like zombies, they come in two phases. The zombies will be the zombies that just walk, that they just move in packs and they walk, and there's no. They don't move very quickly. They just reach their arms out and shuffle at you because they're decaying slowly from the inside.
Right.
But then there's the other zombies that are the runners.
the running
right?
zombies.
The
yeah.
runner zombies that can chase you down.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying. But I think the Walking Dead kind of finds a medium between the two, the shuffling mindless zombie and the runners.
Well, it really wasn't. You really didn't see running zombies until 28 days later.
Yeah.
That was and that was like a disease. That wasn't like pure zombie.
Zombieism.
That was like a disease.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
vampires.
But vampires have a ton of rules. There's so many rules for vampires, and a lot of them are.
I want to be a
terribly
vampire,
offensive.
but like I don't like rules.
Too fucking bad. But they're also really heavily followed, like in pretty much every remake of the. Yeah, that's the old one.
How old?
Yeah, that's pretty old. That's my
But it's
line.
red like blood.
Yeah. Don't. No.
Good lord.
It's not even open.
It's very fermented. That was like taking a shot.
And it's nice, right? This one's a little better. Yeah, so so the zombie rule of sunlight has been basically followed to a T.
Right.
Every single time. The wooden stake to the heart has been followed to a T pretty much every time. The idea they don't have a reflection
Oh yeah.
is another one.
Sleep in coffins.
They sleep in coffins, or at least it's dark
Yeah.
during the day. But the idea, I love the garlic one. I love the garlic one because most people are like, that is so fucking left field. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. And that comes from the fact that blood-sucking insects like ticks and chiggers and mosquitoes don't like garlic. Fleas do not like garlic. If you eat a lot of garlic, you can repel fleas
Oh wow.
and bed bugs.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah. So people found that if they ate a ton of garlic, they wouldn't get bitten up by the bugs living in their beds.
Right.
And that is why vampires don't like garlic, because
They're bloodsuckers.
The joke is little bloodsuckers don't like garlic. Those are the vampires. The vampires with quotes around them are the fleas, the bed bugs, the ticks, and the mosquitoes. So that's where the garlic comes from. All of you listening out there, it's not just a random folklore thing. That's like it was actually based in
Fair enough.
in fact. Now, as far as the silver and the wooden stake, I'm not sure where they come from, but
This came
blood.
from a lot of well actually I just read this is interesting.
Sure.
Tying in the idea of it being a superstitious thing to real life is the idea of staking with some sort of like steel, iron, silver, like anything like that. In Bulgaria, over 100 skeletons with metal objects embedded in the torso have been discovered. So as much as this was like a superstition, like people died and then people staked them,
believed that
with iron and then buried them.
Yeah, they
so we
come
back. 100 years later, or I mean, a lot of
Van
like
Helsing that shit.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna die. They're gonna die, right?
Yeah. You're gonna die. Then I'm gonna stick this shit through your heart.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna bury you.
Right.
Don't come back.
Don't you come back now,
Steven.
Don't come back now. Here. That's pretty much what's going on.
It's a redneck zombies.
Right. No, redneck Van Helsings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of redneck Van Helsings.
Yeah.
Now you die, you stay dead.
Stay on my lawn. Stupid.
Damn, but I'm gonna bury you in the family cemetery, but you ain't coming back now.
No. Yeah. So the vampire lore, though, there was a disease. I believe there was a disease that it was like a deficiency of a vitamin deficiency of some sort that people with this condition had, that would crave meat that was undercooked, it causes you basically, there's no iron in your blood, like there's no vitamin D, you can't hold on to pretty much any vitamins, and there's I can't remember what condition it was. It's the condition of the liver, I believe.
Right.
And you basically start craving iron-rich foods, which would include raw meat. Like
right.
You would want any sort of, basically as fresh as the cow can make it.
Mm-hmm.
And then a symptom of this was very, very pale skin, because there was no iron in your blood.
Right.
You start to turn blue, and you start to appear dead. You look very sickly, gray. Your eyes were probably yellow.
Yeah.
You obviously would not feel well, and I think that was a condition that there was no cure for it, and I think people feared it in some way. I'm not sure. I don't believe it was contagious. I think it was a purely genetic thing. I'd have to look that up. I'm not really I've heard of it before, but I can't remember what it was. But
well, and even in New England, in parts of the 18th and 19th centuries, people thought tuberculosis was like a vampire disease. Because, I mean, you had the idea that it's all based on blood and blah, blah, blah. If you got tuberculosis, you're coughing that shit up. And tuberculosis and consumption was caused by a family member who died from that disease. So if you woke up with it, it's contagious. You're a vampire.
Yeah.
And the most famous and most recently recorded case of suspected vampirism is that of 19-year-old Mercy Brown, who died in Exeter, Rhode Island in 1892. Her father, assisted by the family physician, removed her from her tomb 2 months after her death, cut out her heart, and burned it to ashes. Because that was the way you stopped the problems. Because you had to find that family member,
right, and burn them.
Cut their heart out.
That made a lot of sense. Yeah, modern medicine is great.
Yeah, I know, right?
A lot less burning of hearts and desecrating corpses. One thing I love.
How do I stop this? Well, we got to find your dead mother and burn her heart. Okay.
All right, that's what's gonna stop it.
You're the doctor.
Let me dig up this disease-ridden body and just dip my hands in it and then burn it.
Oh.
Yeah. That just seems like a bad idea.
I want to put on gloves. No, can't use gloves.
No.
It's got to be pure.
Oh my god.
Gross myself out.
Right? It's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to imagine all of those contagious illnesses that were just being spread far and wide because there was no way to sanitize. Even quarantining people at the best of your ability would still pass it. Like, you can't. Smallpox blankets were a thing.
And they did not have Purell.
No, they did not have Purell.
Or Germex.
And I have opinions about Purell too, but like, yeah, there wasn't any way to sanitize. Purell has its own fucking problems.
That's a hill you're gonna die on.
Yeah, Purell's. Okay. We'll say this for another day, but antibacterials are bad enough. Like, they have their own sets of problems. But modern medicine, the idea that the fact that we've realized that you can actually quarantine someone and not spread it,
right,
is pretty phenomenal. And our methods for containing contagious diseases is actually pretty advanced at this point. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't mean that people still can't get infected by things. That's obviously going to happen, but there are ways to mitigate it, and especially in this day and age, which is pretty nice. But then all of a sudden, like, Hollywood got a hold of vampires, and no longer was it some like crippling iron deficiency or a bug living in your bed. No, now this is
sexy.
Now it's sexy. Now drinking people's blood. Is
what up? I'm a vampire.
Yeah, that's so creepy. The idea that they have mind control. I think it's really just people getting kinky.
Yeah, I'm a vampire.
Can you please stop that?
No.
Oh.
Because I'm a vampire.
Really disturbing.
I'm sultry.
This is probably going to be in my nightmares.
No.
Like, if I'm afraid of paranormal activity, I'm just going to be afraid of listening back to this podcast and it haunting my dreams.
I'm a vampire.
I'm going to... Stop. I'm going to hit you
I'm a vampire.
with your own microphone.
No, you're not, because I'm a vampire. It won't hurt. Keep drinking that. Do not pour the wine on me.
I'm going to go to sleep listening to this, and all I'm going to hear is, I'm a vampire.
I'm a vampire.
It's going to be... you sound like Batman.
Bats are related. It's the same thing.
Yep.
I'm Batman.
Okay, Batman is a vampire, is what we learned from this podcast. Makes sense.
Where's Rachel?
Oh my gosh.
So it turns into, hey, welcome to the last couple minutes of the podcast. Brent does his weird impressions.
Oh, no.
I'm a vampire.
Please.
I can do a really good Smeagol.
Oh, here.
Yes, you do.
Not really.
Stupid hobbitses.
You're pretty good.
I know, right? That's why I told you I do it pretty well.
I can do a pretty good impression of Pinky from Pinky and the Brain.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. So what are we going to do tonight, Pinky? Oh no, wait. What does he say? He goes, "Oh, are you thinking what I'm thinking, Pinky?" Well, I think so, Bray. But how are we going to find all those ferrets at this time of night?
That is good.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You sound
What are we
like
going to do tonight, Brain? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. It's a good one. You just have to sound like a British person with a stuffy nose.
Yeah, no, you sound kind of like Michael Caine.
Oh, Michael Caine.
Shut up.
No, that's all I can say. That's all I can say. Yes.
I wish I had a better Morgan Freeman. I'm working on it.
Yeah, you gotta work on that Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. We have gone off the rails.
Yeah, this has gotten.
But we were right at about an hour.
Awesome. So that was. If you're not afraid now
of
everything,
not
then you should go watch Paranormal Activity.
I'm not scared.
And apparently the scariest part is some lady staring
over the bed. Like what? Okay.
You just get up and punch her in the face, and then you told her, and then you go back to bed.
I told you stop doing this.
Jesus Christ.
She's like, I had a demon. No, I don't care.
Wow, domestic violence is not okay,
It's
folks. Yeah, so please don't.
Unless they have a demon.
Unless they have a demon in them. Just make sure. 100%. Please, just like.
Your Honor, I thought you had a demon.
Oh my God, that's not okay.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying.
It's not okay unless it's like a big demon.
Like if it's a demon,
be a real bad demon.
If her head turns the fuck around, she's getting punched in the eye.
Yeah, she starts vomiting. Yeah. All right. If her head turns all the way around like an owl and she starts vomiting like an owl, then it might be
She's
an
getting
owl.
dumb swinging on her.
Yeah, just make sure it's not an owl, because they are protected in North Carolina.
I thought you had a demon. You punched an owl.
Oh. Demon. Oh, wait, here's my impression of an owl. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
That's not an owl.
Well, it's a different kind of bird. It's a, yeah.
That's a mourning dove.
As opposed to an evening dove.
Oh my God, Brett, do you not know what a mourning dove is?
It's a dove. It's like the white dove.
No, it's not white.
Oh.
It's gray. And mourning is spelled M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G.
Oh, no, now that's sad, but that also ties into the podcast.
Yeah, what? Yeah, because we're all sad about
death.
Yeah, death.
A lot of death. A lot of death in
Well,
this podcast.
This is a paranormal.
Exactly.
Death
So
is
you
gonna
said
happen.
mourning dove.
Wow, this ending is weird. So, thank you guys for listening.
So much. And for tuning into, man, episode 4. We've been doing this for like 14 or 15 weeks.
Wow.
That's a long time.
14 or 15? What?
We did skip a week.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In between season 1 and 2.
Yeah, we skipped a week.
Because you're like, I got shit to do. I'm like, well, now I got nothing.
And
But you're
then
also
you-
going to
and
be
then you
gone.
also-
Am I going to keep this going while you're gone?
I guess.
Oh, Brett is going to Belize
I
for
am going to go to Belize.
3 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
In November.
So we got a couple more.
Yeah. So
3 more, and then
we
she's going to be
could,
gone.
I mean, we could double up. And
Or
we just-
I'll just do it by myself.
Or you can do it by yourself. That's fine. I
We
could
could
just
double
phone
up.
in. From
You could
Belize.
phone in from Belize.
Hopefully, I don't get slapped with roaming charges.
Well, you should probably call for your
I've got
phone
to
company.
call
okay.
it right.
All right. That says definitely gone off the rails. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the podcast, and happy Halloween.